Argh, not another podcast about book publishing, hosted by William May, in which the author finds himself embroiled in a podcast about book publishing.
Hey everyone! Welcome to episode 3 of Argh, not another podcast about book publishing. This time around, we are diving into the top-rated poems from William's social media channels from 2023. We've got something special for you in this episode. Let's dive into the words that captivated us all.
We're going to start with the recited poems that got the most likes and engagement for William's audience on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel.
Our Plan Did Not Go Well, by William May, read by the poet. Our plan did not go well, and the things we did instead were nothing I wanted, did not satisfy any of those desires. I am still trapped with them, and they will not relent, will continue to demand what was anticipated, what has been denied. I know it is impossible to change this, to have it. The chance was missed and it is gone, will not return. It is the way of things, but I am still waiting. I do not know how to let go of it. I want to make it better and not have it be one more thing that has gone all wrong and cannot be corrected. It all came right when it would be worst, by William May, read by the poet. It all came right when it would be worst, as if planned for this time, scheduled around the absence. It was not a consideration just days ago, but now there is too much. There is everything again. I don't know why it happened now, unless it is intended. It is the perfect time for it to go wrong in the worst way, and so it has. If it is just random, just what happened, and not a plan that it go this wrong, I cannot pretend that isn't significant. Deadlines Make Me Anxious, by William May, read by the author. It must be done, but it has been impossible, has not been quiet, has been too busy, has been anything that I must say it was, to make it clear why I did nothing. I do not care what is true if you understand that it was not possible. There may be no reason beyond impossibility. That is the thing that comes to be both true and wrong, is what grows at times, for a time, into a time that takes all the other time. Do you realize the wall goes up and is itself and exists? I cannot always be asked to give the reason. The reason is not anything. I do not know what has held me down, what has been there. It has been impossible. The impossibility has been sitting here, holding it from me.
Now, exclusively, we'll continue with flash fiction, a new style William is going to explore more in 2024, so stay tuned.
Recently, I began to challenge myself to write some more fiction, particularly what's known as flash fiction, which is very short stories that are, depending on who you ask, less than 1,000 or maybe 1,500 words. And it's an interesting challenge. I've been trying to write a new story each day, the same way that I write new poems. Again, even as with the poetry, this is just a process of drafting much of the time. What results is either something that I will never really want to push much further. It might be just a fragment of an idea or even less than that. It gives me an opportunity to sort of experiment sometimes and try things, and that doesn't always work out. But when I'm writing every day and I'm doing it this way, it also is something that takes a little bit of the pressure off that, because I know I'm doing a lot of writing, and the more I'm writing, the less pressure there is on any one piece of output. It's like if you have 1,000 photos and you want to look at them, you don't need all 1,000 of them to be perfect masterpieces. It's fine if you only get a few that are really beautiful when you have 1,000 of them. But if you only have 5, well, you're going to want more of them to be of a higher quality. So a lot of the time I write a lot because I know that's a way for me in my process to get to stuff that I feel is good. And with fiction, that's not something I've always felt comfortable with. But recently, as I said, I started pushing myself in terms of doing that with Flash. And I thought that this would be an opportunity to share a few of those pieces. Hopefully in the coming year, we're going to be sharing more. This first one is actually something I've already shared it with a few, with those of you who are subscribed to my newsletter. It was in the most recent, the December newsletter. And it's a fairly short story. It's really, well, I'll just tell the story. I don't know. I'm not used to reading fiction, but I think it's fairly self-explanatory. Time travel. I asked him what he wanted me to do, how I was supposed to make up for it. My only thought is that you should just go back in time and not do it in the first place, he said. If you're asking me for a solution, that is. I wanted to explain to him that I already had, and it hadn't really helped. Wanted to tell him it had all gone wrong between us the last time. How he had made the same demand, and I had done it, found a cheat, a way to redirect time's arrow, to reverse all that entropy and go back. I had done it, and followed his exact directions, had gone back to change it and make other choices. And now, here I was, having the same conversation all over again. I suppose I should have always understood it was his problem from the start.
And, last but not least, we'll end this episode with a new poem that William is going to recite and provide a little bit more insight about his writing process.
So this is a poem called There Are Steps to Take. And it's a poem I wrote when I was dealing with some personal stuff, some rough times in my family, and with various issues going on. And for me, the poem was in part an effort to kind of distill down some of those feelings into something and try to look at it more clearly, I suppose, in a way, and also to distance it from things. I think for me as a poet, a lot of the times one of my instincts is towards universalizing things, and towards that effort I often try to divorce them from specifics, if only as an exercise for me. And sometimes it results in something that I find really interesting. I feel like this poem is doing a lot in the ways that it plays with language. I hope that you enjoy it. There are steps to take. There are steps to take, and it is clear in ways it is. I can think of things to do, of what should be correct, what should be but may not be. There are no certainties. Already it is a mess. Making it better is not a guarantee, no matter the effort. A bigger mess is always a possibility. I do not like the way things are. Still, I fear what else could happen. I know, though, it will get worse if I do nothing. This is William May saying goodbye. If you enjoyed the episode, please share it with your friends. If not, please share it with your enemies.
Argh, Not Another Podcast About Book Publishing is produced by Denise Marsa, Maggie Dimitrova, and William May. Please visit WilliamMayWrites.com for social media links, recited poems, and more.